Welcome to Module 6, Secondary Transition Assessments, Interpreting Results and Implementation. When preparing the student to complete assessments in the employment and career interest, consider these things. Students benefit from learning how their strengths and interests align with career areas. Students' interests change frequently. Students need opportunities to explore various careers through job shadowing in person or virtually. Knowing a student's conditions for employment helps the student and IEP teams determine the right career match. There are various assessments in the career and employment domain. We typically think of career interest inventories as the only assessment in this domain, but there are other useful assessments such as situational assessments that can help determine if a student is the right fit and has the skills that a particular job may require, such as carrying heavy items or standing for long periods of time, for example. Work style fit or conditions for employment are assessments to help determine the best employment fit for a student. These assessments can be useful when there are conditions for a student that are preferred or non-negotiable for a student to be successful in employment. Aptitude assessments are assessments that can help determine if a student has the aptitude for a specific career cluster. Lastly, if you work with students with complex needs, then you may want to learn more about how the process of discovery and how it can help identify a customized employment fit for a student with complex needs. Executive functioning skills are especially important for success in post-secondary settings. These assessments can help students determine their strengths and needs in areas such as organization, time management, stress tolerance, flexibility, planning, task initiation, goal-directed persistence, metacognition, and emotional control, to name a few. College readiness assessments can help students and IEP teams determine skill gaps that may exist and identify targeted skills needed for the student to develop before they enter college. These assessments measure skills such as academic metacognition and motivation and confidence. Learning style assessments are designed to help a student understand how they learn best and whether they are a visual, auditory, social, or kinesthetic learner. Be sure to give serious consideration to assessments in the areas of self-determination and self-advocacy, independent living, and adult living skills, and assistive technology. We sometimes overestimate the skills and knowledge our students have in these areas. Remember the 5 questions before deciding to skip these assessment areas. What do we already know? What do we need to learn? How will we gather that information? Who will gather the information? And when will the information be gathered? Customize your assessment process to capture specific information needed for upcoming decisions. Mary will need to focus on career awareness and career exploration this year. It may also be important to conduct environmental assessments of post-secondary campuses to identify specific accommodations available. Ensure that assessment methods are appropriate to the learning and response characteristics of the student. Mary will need support assistance with any assessments and responses. Since she excels in activity-based and group projects, an effective method of assessing her strengths might be systematic observations within specific learning situations, targeting critical problem-solving and communication skills. Assessments must incorporate assistive technology, or AT, and accommodations when necessary. Access to AT and appropriate accommodations in post-secondary settings will significantly increase Mary's ability to participate in learning and achievement. She should be assessed to find out specific technology appropriate for her. Also, more info is needed about her abilities to request needed accommodations. It is essential to develop and implement systematic methods for observing students and collecting relevant information about skills and spins in the actual environment. Mary will need to experience specific career exploration activities in several different arts-related areas, such as informational interviews, job shadowing, and work-based learning. Assessment methods must produce outcomes that influence the development, planning, and implementation of the secondary transition process. Mary might benefit from choosing between several different career interest inventories, allowing her to identify the one that will provide the best information about her to her IEP team, Having this information will help her make decisions about post-secondary transition to college and careers. Assessment procedures and secondary transition strategies for students with disabilities should be verified by multiple methods and persons. Where possible, multiple stakeholders should be involved. Getting input from Mary, her teachers, and her family about strategies and methods for supporting her learning is essential. Assessment results should be stored in a user-friendly format. Students can keep a portfolio that they can share with others. When Mary exits school, she can use the information from her portfolio to share about herself when accessing additional resources such as a college disability resource center, vocational rehabilitation services, or other adult services for people with disabilities.